just say one thing?
We are strangers to love.
Love.
Lovely. You know.
The rules.
And so
They full commitment.
What I'm thinking of.
You would not get this from any other guy. Guys!
I just want
to tell you
How I'm feeling.
make you understand.
Never gonna give you up.
Never let you down.
never
Run around and desert you. Never gonna make you
cry. Never say.
Goodbye. Never gonna tell them what a good lie.
Happy birthday, YouTube.
Excellent. So it's our 20th birthday year, and that's one of the last times I get to show that. So thank you. And have we got any Rick Astley fans in the audience? Yay, in the front row. Excellent. So look, thank you. It's fantastic to be here today. We're going to dig into the creator economy. We've just heard lots about it. Fantastic data and analysis. And I'm delighted to be joined by this amazing panel. Rick Shiels, PGA qualified golf professional, coach and digital creator with over 3 million subscribers on YouTube. Let's just see a little bit of your journey.
Not Rick Astley.
It's not Rick, exactly.
Rick
Your
Shiels.
version. Yeah.
It's me singing.
If we could just cue the video.
Hi, welcome to Rick Shiels' Golf Tip. Today I'm going to show you how to grip the golf club correctly every time.
Oh my God, go in. Oh, you went in! Oh!
So it's just going to be silent in the background now, sort of slightly strangely. Rick, welcome. Now, moving on to Grace Miller. We've heard from Ben a lot about Stephen Bartlett and FlightStory. Grace has the best job title ever, Head of Failure and Experimentation. Did you give yourself that job title, or where does it come from?
No, I didn't give myself it, but I do get two reactions. It's either people laughing or people saying it's the coolest job title in the world. So
and you love it.
I'm used to both. I absolutely love it.
Fantastic, I love it. And then we have Phil Hughes, a media entertainment lawyer and founder of the Digital Creator Association, a trade body representing digital creators. Thank you for being here. So in terms of framing, I think Ben did a brilliant job in framing the creator economy. I just want to say a couple of things. The first is that obviously it's growing, it's evolving rapidly. YouTube's ecosystem alone contributed over 2 billion to GDP last year. So it's a real growth driver and also a generator of new jobs across our nations and regions. Ben gave some great examples of established creators, and you know I'm surrounded by them here. But actually, there's a real opportunity for more growth from creators who haven't made it yet. So this year, in partnership with Public First, who's a consultancy, we went out to all UK creators and asked them what do they need to unlock growth. We were hoping for 1,000 responses. We had over 10,000. So it's a phenomenal piece of research. And it showed that actually the biggest challenge was that creators felt that it wasn't recognised as a proper job. They didn't have just general recognition, there wasn't government recognition, they didn't have access to finance, access to infrastructure, and lacked some of the creative and technical skills. So, over the next 24 minutes and 35 seconds, we're going to tackle some of those areas. We're going to touch on scaling businesses, infrastructure and regions, and also building audiences with new AI tools and the opportunities there. So, first of all, Rick, I'm going to turn to you. I'm going to turn around a little bit more, actually. Quite a sharp turn. And can you share your journey from golfer to creator, how you drove growth and what might have held you back as well at times?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, I'm from Manchester. I used to be a teaching professional just down the road at the big driving range at Trafford Centre. And I wanted to expand my business. I wanted to become a busier golf coach. So 13 years ago, I decided to pick up an iPad, completely self-taught, and thought, well, YouTube seems fun. I was a big fan of YouTube. Fast forward now to that little sizzle you're seeing. We just got past over 1 billion views. I've now managed a team of 14. My offices are just 5 minutes down the road here in Salford, Manchester lad, and I just love how, you know, even hearing Andy talk before, like, obviously I love Manchester. I'm so excited to see Manchester continue to grow.
That's incredible. And what held you back? Did you find that you had any challenges on the journey? I mean,
I think it coincided quite nicely with the growth of media here in Manchester.
Yeah.
So even recruiting editors, videographers was actually much easier than I expected it to be. There's no massive amount of challenges. The weather, maybe. Obviously, I film outdoor sports a lot, so I have to do a lot of travel. But as a whole, my 13-year journey has been pretty seamless. Obviously, it's had its up and downs, but you know, I'm very lucky to get to live out a dream job, really.
Incredible. So you've got your production space here, but the locations tend to be abroad?
Yeah, I do a lot of travel. So I'm doing in the region of about 20 trips per year for all different sectors. I know we're probably going to come on to expanding those regions soon, but what I've seen in Korea and Japan and Singapore this year has really blown my mind. And I know there's huge amounts of growth out there, which I'm really excited about tapping into.
Big Asian audiences as well.
Not yet.
Yes.
That's what you know. A lot
That's
of my
the opportunity.
audience, yeah, a lot of my audience is US based and UK. So yeah, hopefully tapping into a bigger Asian market.
Fantastic, incredible. Right, moving on to Grace. So 5 years, that journey is really recent for FlightStory. Now has over 100 people in London, Manchester and LA. So can you talk us through the growth and how it's happened so rapidly, where the opportunity's been?
Yeah, we originally started with, I think I was number 7 almost 4 years ago. And when I arrived, it was a tiny team just on the Diary of a CEO. And then over the last, 4 or 5 years, we've grown to a range of podcasts, both UK and US based now, multiple offices, which is amazing because we started in Steve's flat in Shoreditch. So we've been able to expand to places like Manchester and then now LA and hopefully more around the US as well. But the team has rapidly grown over the last year and a bit since FlightStory was founded, where it's become a media company for exactly what Ben was saying before, the infrastructure or building creators as infrastructure rather than just talent.
Yeah, and most people, I mean, everyone would know Diary of a CEO. What are the other shows and podcasts that you have?
Yeah, the second one we launched was a podcast called We Need to Talk with Paul C. Brunson.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, he's on Married at First Sight. It's a relationships advice person. And then we've also got Begin Again with Davina McCall, who is an icon in the UK. And then we also launched our first US show with a woman called Dr. Kristen Holmes, who works at Whoop, and it's called The Line. And then we have a few more in the pipeline coming very soon, which is exciting.
Excellent. Yes. You can't share.
There's a US one, but I can't share the name yet. But
okay, excellent. Watch this space.
Yeah, it's coming very soon.
Fantastic. Phil, moving on to you. So you obviously work with digital creators across all sizes and maturity. What do you think that we need more of to help them scale and grow into these next generation production companies like Rick or FlightStory?
Yeah, lots, I think. For those of you that work in the industry, also it's scaled massively, right? I spent a lot of time building what was the UK's biggest digital talent management business, turning over £60 million a year. Like, this is a scaled industry, but creators have a lot of problems, right? And I think to answer your question very quickly, what their kind of problems that they face. So everything from a lack of real professional recognition through to even when they're speaking to people like insurers and banks, they don't really even know what their job is. So access to finance can be quite difficult.
Yeah, even getting a mortgage, can't it? It's just something as simple as that, not even a loan. It's a
which for self-employed people is hard enough anyway, but when people don't understand what your job is, it's really hard. And now they're dealing with this, like all the new technology that was talked about in the previous slide, which is awesome in terms of the exponential growth it can provide to creators, but the challenges that come with a lack of understanding of rights, lack of transparency, and all those things are also what they're being tackled with. So they're big questions that need addressing, and I think what needs to happen is we need better access to government, both nationally and locally, to aid their understanding of it, but also to have a voice in Parliament. And you and I, Alison, know we're working together on the first all-party parliamentary group for creators, which is a great first step for us to be able to talk to government about what the creator industry is about and what it needs, and also to hopefully get more economic investment into the space.
Yeah, and it's fantastic also to hear Andy talking earlier about the creator sector plan in this region and the opportunities for access to funding here as well. So moving on to talk about infrastructure and the regions. Obviously, production infrastructure isn't just mega studios. Affordable filming spaces and local edit suites are are really, really important. And I think the point about talent is also critical, the fact that digital content creators are everywhere, not just in the Southeast bubble, which can be a challenge for the broader creative industries. So Grace, I'd love you to share how you think about the locations, which locations to invest in, the fact that you've got an office in Manchester as well as London and LA.
Yeah, we kind of see it as two parts of like offices with internal talent, and then where do we see creators and like guests being able to come on the podcast. So we didn't just make a Manchester office and hope that there was amazing talent here. We knew there was amazing talent, and so then we said, okay, we want to build a Manchester office around that talent, which has been amazing. So we have a team here, a team in London, and then in LA now. And our podcasts travel everywhere, so we were talking about it just before this. It could be in London if the right talent is there, but we've been to everywhere from filming in Mallorca to New York, Texas, anywhere in the north up here we've also traveled to. And it's not only that, we've then taken our live shows all around the UK and eventually around the world as well. So it really is where our audience is and where the talent is for the podcast as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And in terms of your staff, so you've got 100, do you also have freelance community as well? Do you tap into local resource when you're filming?
Yeah, we have a mix of everything. So we have freelancers that come work in-house, which is really nice. So they'll come as, even though they're freelance, they come and work in the office with us. But we also have freelancers around the whole world. So we've got lots up here, LA based, to help with recordings if our team from Manchester or London can't get there. So we have a whole network around the world.
And you've obviously, you work in the States, you work in LA, so you see the ecosystem there. How different is it in terms of access to filming and infrastructure compared to here in the UK?
We like to, well, we've started really small. So put it this way, when we started the Diary of a CEO, it was in Steve's apartment. And then when we moved to LA, or extended to LA, we then did it in an Airbnb. So we actually started really small. It's now moved into sound studios since then. And now it's back in Steve's house, which is hilarious. It's gone full circle of moving between places. But I think what's really interesting is being able to have the facilities to film if needed, but also knowing that you can do it if you've got the right talent in anywhere is possible. Like filming in Steve's house is what grew the Diary of a CEO on YouTube to the first 100K. And then we also got to 1 million still filming in Steve's house, which is amazing. Yeah. But it's the talent around that really helped us get there.
And there's more shared spaces there aren't there as well for the broader creator ecosystem. There's something called the Lighthouse.
Yeah, the Lighthouse. So Colin and Samir, who are YouTubers, they launched almost like a creative workspace for people to come together, and they have launched one in LA, which I saw, and it was incredible. It's so beautiful, and also amazing talent and people to be around. And then they've just launched New York, and hopefully they're coming to the UK soon, which is exciting.
So it's shared space as in filming, so you can book in, is it like studio space and editing?
Yeah, and I've seen this some in London as well. I've been to already, so I'm sure there's
I think that's really interesting, isn't it? As that evolves, it's just that providing that access much more easily.
Yeah, and being able to go in there if you need, and making it accessible, because I think some of them around the world can be slightly more expensive to book a podcasting studio, so making it accessible.
And it's the community piece as well, isn't it? Bringing people together, because it can, if you're a creator and you are working on your own, it can be quite lonely.
Doing educational courses there as well. It's like a college campus almost.
Okay, brilliant, excellent. And Phil, from DCA's perspective, what would it take for regional creator communities to have a sort of stronger collective voice? Like, do you see groups coming together and bigger opportunity there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so the first thing I would say is we'd love more regional creators to join the DCA, because we're trying to be a collective voice for creators. So Rick, you'll be really welcome to join. But beyond that shameless plug.
Love it. Bit of pitching on stage.
Excellent.
Have to
Rick,
in the signed up.
Give me a shout.
Yeah, and Stephen's in too.
Yeah, excellent. But I think it's just about creators, being organised, kind of informed and networked, and a lot of that comes through collaboration over competition. I think and that's what we try and do at the DCA, is trying to get people to be more collaborative and to meet more regularly, talk openly about what the issues are, and I think that's really important in the creative space. But more specifically, some of the stuff that Andy was just talking about on stage, and also there's the kind of creative clusters that are happening in the UK. Yeah. I'd really like to find a way of making sure creators benefit more fully from that, whether it's about organised regional communication with the mayors, or creating a central point in Westminster or another hub to make sure that creators are getting involved with the creative clusters and the type of, because all the funds and stuff that Andy was talking about, absolutely brilliant. but whether these types of creators are getting access to it, I'd really like to make sure they do.
That's a great idea, plugging into those regional funds. And in terms of like collaboration with other creators, is there a strong golf community?
Oh, it's huge. So again, when I started 13 years ago, there was 3 or 4 channels, but now there's probably over 1,500 channels.
Is that globally?
Globally,
Wow.
yeah. And it was very UK based originally, and then it's gone huge. America's a massive golf platform right now. And what's fascinating for me, a lot of the collaborations that I've ended up doing, not only with other creators, but other professional golfers, they've actually then gone on to take their own journey onto YouTube and social media. So someone like Bryson DeChambeau.
Did you coach him?
I didn't coach him, but I filmed with him
phenomenal,
a number of years ago, and he's gone on to do outrageously successful things on YouTube. Yeah. Ian Poulter, obviously UK guy, lives in Florida now. He just set up a channel this year, and he actually hired me for 2 days. I say hired, there was no payment. He invited me to...
You hung out with him?
He invited me to his house for 2 days, and basically it was for me to almost coach him through what does making YouTube videos be like.
Wow.
And that was never a step in my career I expected. Tommy Fleetwood, again, a huge favourite here in the UK. He lives out in Dubai. He's just set up a YouTube channel. There was lots of talks about me actually running that for him. I couldn't do it with time commitments, but I think the professional sports stars are really starting to see the benefit. And it was interesting listening to why they want to do it. And it's a lot of it is connecting with fans, but also what sort of commercial upside it will have. So when they then negotiate a new deal with a clothing brand or a new club brand, suddenly their YouTube numbers get put into that slide and their value as a professional athlete goes up. So that's been fascinating. That the collaboration in golf is so good. I mean, you don't really play golf on your own ever, so it collaborates really nicely.
And we're seeing actually a real trend around athletes as creators. For any Man City fans, Haaland's got an incredible YouTube channel. He's just launched it actually about a month ago, but it's brilliant. But as you say, it's a real sort of a new opportunity for athletes to build their brand and also build sport. So something that I'm aware of for golfers is actually reaching younger audiences. There are a lot of young players now, thanks to actually a lot of the content that you and others are creating. Correct.
And first off, I'm a Manchester United fan, and I hate our fan. Hate him. But I must admit, I've actually tuned into a few of his videos. I'm like, is he that bad? Do I hate him that much?
No,
I hate him a little bit less.
He's excellent. The him getting dressed up for Halloween is the best.
Oh, when he's going into like a petrol station.
He's the Joker, and he's really surprised that people recognise him. And it's like, well, you're really tall and really distinctive looking.
Yeah, but the younger audience is definitely a huge benefit in golf. Obviously, golf has been wrapped up in stigma that it's for an old man's sport. But now with all these new, not only YouTubers, but then professional sports stars getting into golf, but also actual superstars getting into golf, like famous artists, musicians getting into golf as well. It's doing the younger golf demographic a huge amount of good. It really is.
You heard it here. It's not about paddle. It's all about golf.
I love paddle as well. I must admit, that's my next channel.
Paddle
That's how I'm going to come back. Yeah.
There's a niche there.
Yeah,
I'm not aware of any yet.
Yeah,
so.
there is. There's quite a few out there. But yeah, I'd love to set up a channel.
We're going off brief now. Okay, right. Finally, let's talk about storytelling and technology. And Ben talked a lot about new technologies like AI really empowering human creativity. So Rick, I'd love to hear from you about how technology overall helps you build your audiences.
Yeah, massive amounts. Obviously, I'm a huge user of ChatGPT. I asked it the other day how many questions I'd asked it in its lifetime, and apparently I've used it for 2 years, 9 months, and I've asked over 3,000 questions to it.
I also recommend Gemini, which is Google's
right,
model.
okay.
It's excellent.
I should have said that. Yeah, I should have stayed on brand. Other AI tools are available. But I think for me, it's really given me an understanding of not only content ideas. You know, I've pretty much written, or we've written together, my next year's content plans, which is great.
Wow.
I've used it a lot for dubbing and captioning, and going back to that question before about other regions. When I spent time in Korea, I showed a few friends out there the Korean dubbing, and they were like, "Yeah, it's good," but we actually watch a lot of our content in English with Korean subtitles. I was like, damn, I've been wasting all my time doing this. So I'm now working on captioning all my videos as well. So
And
AI,
the lip syncing is really improving.
it's huge. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And you know, obviously the auto dubbing on YouTube's really, really good. I can't wait to see how it continues to progress. No, it does. It is. It's really good. I've tested it already, and already I think my latest video is dubbed in 21 different languages.
That's
and
incredible.
it's like,
and how quickly does that happen?
Oh, it's
in real time.
30 minutes.
Yeah, that's
It's
amazing.
done. Yeah, before it gets released, and it's out there already in 21 different languages.
To that point about export, is then a brilliant way of actually exporting content and building your brand globally.
Correct.
Yeah, excellent. And Grace, what opportunities do you see then, sort of technology-wise?
Yeah, AI is the massive one, but we've been using a lot of the features on YouTube of experimentation, which is obviously my role, of like the title testing, the thumbnail testing, which has been amazing because before YouTube built this, we had to do it ourselves and try and hack it together almost.
And maybe share what thumbnails are actually, just for the audience.
Yeah, so thumbnails are the images that are on your video. And what you can do, YouTube have now built a feature where you can test 3 different thumbnails or images to see what your audience engages with most. And it's really interesting because you could try, for example, like one of you close up versus one really far away with the golf in shot, and seeing like what do people engage with, what really captures them, is it a facial expression? And I know Mr. Beast has tested this for so long, so it's really nice that all creators can use it now. And then obviously localization is a massive one, which I know was spoken about before in the presentation, and we are full force in that. Obviously YouTube's features are amazing, and even being able to do the thumbnails into different languages is really cool, so we can tailor it to a Spanish audience rather than them receiving the English thumbnail.
And which markets are you looking to expand into?
We've got 12 languages now. Wow. So Spanish was the one we started with first, and it's performing really well, but the others are just as strong, and we're seeing really good growth, which is amazing from what was talked about before, just being in English to being able to now reach the rest of the world and share in their languages. But again, we're still working to make it perfect because AI
helps you do. I remember we were chatting last week, you mentioned something about the opportunity in Poland, which surprised you.
Yeah, we basically, like, it's funny, if you actually read your comments on YouTube, you might learn things from what people are asking for. And one of our biggest languages that was requested was actually Polish, and we tried it, and we have an amazing Polish audience.
Wow, that's incredible. I had no idea that there was this massive opportunity.
No, not at all, until people were commenting asking for it, and we tried and it worked.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just listening to audience and then being able to use the features that are on there has worked amazingly for us.
Amazing. Phil, what are your thoughts in representing the digital creator ecosystem around technology?
Oh, crikey, I could talk about AI all day. I'm obsessed with it, but so actually interestingly, the Digital Creator Association, we held an event the other day which was about creators and artificial intelligence, and a few things came out, right? So one is that it's really important, I think, when we talk about AI, to differentiate between kind of workflow tools and generative AI. So the type of stuff that creators are using to make everything more efficient versus actually creating content. And I think educating creators on the difference is really important. When it comes to the kind of product workflows, we found that actually a lot of creators are using it to make everything more efficient, whether it's for creating thumbnails, dubbing, all that kind of stuff. But some are kind of worried about being a bit left behind. And when it comes to generative AI, people are really interested in using it to create extra additional content, really cool, interesting new content, but they kind of have a few fears over kind of an understanding of it, but also what their rights position is and how their rights are going to be used.
Yeah.
So just generally speaking, when you listen to creators about artificial intelligence, the opportunity is massive, like the stuff that for extra distribution that Rick's talking about, but also there is a fear there. So I think having more open conversations about it and continuing to kind of educate creators is really important to make sure we get the most out of the opportunity that tech and AI represents.
Yeah, and the APPG group will obviously help that.
Yeah, massively, yeah.
Excellent. Right, final question for all of you. If you had one ask for how the UK could further support digital creator growth, what would it be? I'm going to start with you, Grace.
I would say kind of what you mentioned before is helping creators at the very beginning to be able to get to millions of followers, and really helping them whether it's, and I've seen it with people around me, not necessarily our company because we're a company now, but creators at the very start of being able to get a mortgage or a loan, and being able to start up, and also finding the talent, like finding people within the industries and freelancers that are out there that are also able to be, like, if the government can help them be able to connect and make it more affordable to start out, because it is an amazing career, and it is a career now. And I love when I see videos on Instagram of people saying, the children, and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they say YouTuber.
Yeah.
And I love that because I'm like, that is a career now. And so really helping people at the very start, I think, is probably most important right now to make sure that this is still a career for people.
Yeah, it's interesting. And when Andy was talking earlier about curriculum, like the importance of actually promoting creative industries and, you know, at an early stage, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Phil?
Well, we touched on at the start, like quite a multitude of things would help, I think. But yeah, Andy talked about investment into modern production needs, which I think is really important to give people who might not have access to. I mean, YouTube and platforms like that have democratized access to audiences, but a lot of people still don't have access to the kind of equipment and the post-production facilities that they need. So that would really be really helpful.
Some of them, more of those shared spaces that Grace was talking about.
And again, better skills and kind of educational development pipelines. So educational courses more so in the UK, and maybe university kind of industry relationships, so that kind of innovators and creative people are staying in the regions and creating, you know, benefits for the economy, I think would help too.
Yeah, fantastic. And Rick?
Yeah, I think obviously Grace and Phil have covered a lot of the key areas there. I think actually teaching it at a younger age, you know, as we said now, YouTuber is a career, and a lot of kids want to be YouTubers. You know, when my kids go into school now, they're more proud that I've got a gold plaque than that I'm any good at golf. And I think
That's hilarious.
It does need.
Do you have like unboxing parties?
Yeah.
They would if they could.
They would,
yeah.
yeah.
It's the first thing they show people when they come to the house. But like, I think just being able to teach kids what that means, but also the safety online as well. You know, I was mentioned like the comments can get as much as you've got to listen to your audience. Sometimes comments aren't particularly nice and they're nasty. I think being able to police that a little bit better as well. But also kind of educating kids the upside of social media, but potential the downsides as well. But I think for me personally, if they could make golf more accessible, build more short golf courses that people can get into golf a little bit more.
So not the full.
For me, there's a pathway between mini golf, driving range, and a full proper golf course. You know, I think being able to convert spaces into like 6-hole golf courses would really be beneficial, not only from a health standpoint, but golf's a great sport that teaches you so many fantastic things, and the more golfers, the more subscribers I get. So
I love it. It's all about, exactly. I think Andy's left, but more golf courses. Excellent. Phil, Grace and Rick, thank you so much for your time. It was excellent. Really rich insights. It's very clear talent is everywhere. There's huge opportunity. And yeah, really exciting. So thank you for your time. Thank you all.
That's great. Well, thank you to YouTube. Like, I don't think YouTube gets enough like praise and credit. Like, you're so fantastic to work with, and you've always been like so creator-led. I think that sometimes gets lost. So congratulations on 20 years.
That was not in the brief, by the way. Fantastic. Thank you.